the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on DC News Now. I'm Haley Milon. We're going to take a live look outside right now at this 8 o'clock hour. It's too misty, too foggy to even tell you what we're looking at, but I am told that we are looking at the National Cathedral, but obfuscated, of course, by all of that not fun weather out there this Saturday morning. Yeah. Brittany Ward joining us now. Brittany, you could have just turned the camera off. I wouldn't have known any differently. Yeah. Another rough weekend in the DMV. Yeah. You say there is some hope for getting outside,
There is some hope. I will say it will not be a complete washout. That picture that you just saw will not be sticking around all morning. We'll start to see the fog lift later on this morning, but overall that visibility is down across portions of the area, but we are starting to see some improvement. So if you are heading out, still take it slow, especially if you're out towards Frederick as well as Hagerstown, Cumberland. You guys are down to a mile. We're down to 8 miles in the Capital Beltway. You're down to a mile there in Baltimore. 4 miles is the current visibility there in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So again, take it so satellite and radar kind of showing you we did see some early morning showers, now dealing with some misty conditions. Those clouds will be sticking around for the first half of the morning, but then take a look back off to the west. We are going to be keeping an eye out on a warm front that's going to be pushing through. That's going to be causing us to see a few of those showers and storms later on today. Temperature wise, it is fairly warm to kickstart our morning. We're sitting at 73 degrees in DC, lower 80s in Lexington Park. Back off to the north and west, out towards Winchester as well as Cumberland. You guys are holding on to the upper 60s, and we'll continue to see those warm conditions through the rest of the weekend. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of this forecast, Haley, what to expect coming up.
Brittany, thank you. We're going to check in with you again in just a few minutes. Well, the Supreme Court wrapped up its most recent term, and the most consequential ruling limits the authority of the lower court judges from issuing nationwide injunctions. This stems from judges blocking President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship here in the U.S. Our Daniel Hamburg has the impact.
In a 6-3 ruling, Supreme Court justices decided district judges can't block the president's policies on a nationwide basis.
It only takes bad power away from judges. It really doesn't take power. It takes bad power, sick power, and unfair power.
Outside the court, protesters say the ruling is dangerous.
Gave Trump a green light for any order that violates the Constitution to be able to go through without being challenged by the courts.
The case centered around a judge blocking President Trump's order to end birthright citizenship, but the justices didn't rule on its constitutionality.
They're holding on the injunctions was probably further than I thought they would go.
Retired federal judge and Dickinson College president John Jones says the justices left some wiggle room.
Class action suits are governed by certain rules in the federal courts where you essentially act on behalf of all individuals similarly situated.
Immigrant rights group CASA immediately filed the class action lawsuit in Maryland.
I think most Americans should be nervous, but if that nervousness is not what should be kept there, we should be hopeful and we should be fighting for a better future.
Jones says the justices recognize their ruling means they have to act quickly in these cases to clarify the national law.
The court bought for itself today the necessity to take this up pretty quickly, or you're going to have just chaos among the 50 states.
That was Daniel Hamburg reporting. The opinion doesn't take effect for 30 days, giving more time for litigation to play out in the states and the Trump administration time to figure out how to implement the order denying citizenship to some people in the U.S. Well, Republican senators are moving ahead with a plan to slash half of the funding for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It's part of the president's big budget bill. The agency was created following the 2008 financial crisis. The main goal, making sure bad actors in financial services, including banks, aren't taking advantage of you, the consumer. Senate Democrats are likely to challenge the proposal to cut funding to the agency. Happening this weekend, major changes for the entire Metro bus system coming tomorrow. We're talking new names, new routes, and the closure of hundreds of stops. WMATA says it's all in the name of efficiency, while some commuters are dreading changing the routes that they've been taking for decades. Our Max Marcilla is mapping it all out so you don't miss your next ride.
It's the last weekday for a Metro bus system that has been in place for decades without a change as big as this one.
This is about providing people more reliable, more frequent, better bus service, not just during rush hour, but for people all days of the week, all hours of the day.
Starting Sunday, every stop will be renamed with a new number and letter to correspond with the route, including D for downtown and C for crosstown. Plus, more than 500 underused stops will be eliminated. Some new routes will be added. In all, service will operate every 12 or 20 minutes, a massive change for a region that has changed massively since the routes we're all used to were implemented.
If you look 20 years ago, what NOMA was today, NOMA didn't exist like that 20 years ago.
So this bus stop here on the corner of Georgia and Florida is one of the 500 plus stops that are going away. Now, Metro says the reason for many of these bus stop closures is because potentially there aren't too many people that get off at this stop, or that it's actually really close to another stop on that same line. Take a look. This is video from the stop we just showed you to the next stop, one block over, where the bus will pick people up starting on Sunday. We are walking that route right now, and we are here now approaching T Street Northwest.
And some people might not know about the bus change because sometimes the schedule doesn't get out to everyone.
Metro has been blasting information about the changes. There are still some worries for riders, though, who are hopeful Metro's ambitious goals will be met, but want to see it happen first.
No one wants to be late, so, we depend on the public transportation.
The best advice from Metro is to use their trip planner on their website and app. Just type in where you're coming from and where you're going, and it'll tell you the name of your new bus route, the stops you can take, and how long it'll take. In Northwest, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Max, that's helpful information, and a reminder from Metro riders on the Blue Line. There is upcoming maintenance that begins July 5th. It goes through July 26th. The Franconia, Springfield, and Van Dorn Street stations will be closed, but there will be free shuttle service replacing those trains. WMATA says parking at those stations will be free. An update to a story that we first brought you on Thursday when a traveler at Dulles International Airport kicked a customs dog that sniffed out some contraband food in his suitcase. A man pleaded guilty to kicking Freddie the Beagle earlier this month. Customs and Border Protection with an update saying that while Freddie was injured, he's expected to make a full recovery. This photo here showing him enjoying his favorite comfort treat, a pop cup. Now, the Egyptian man who kicked Freddie was ordered to pay the veterinarian fees and be removed from the U.S. In Maryland, a man is accused of killing a dog with a rifle. Investigators say it happened during an argument with a neighbor in Waldorf last month. Dejon Warren faces animal cruelty charges after police say he shot the dog with an AR-15. He's being held without bond at the Charles County Jail. Also in Maryland, the State Department of Health releasing new data on gun violence. They say more than 670 deaths in Maryland were caused by firearms. 55% of them were homicides. 44% of them were self-inflicted. The data also shows firearm deaths have slowly decreased in recent years, dropping nearly a quarter since 2021. It also shows there were more than 780 emergency department visits for non-fatal gun injuries. In the district, the agency that polices cannabis businesses says it shut down another illegal weed shop. Investigators say they found multiple variants of marijuana and illegal mushrooms at Apple Dream Shop in Northwest. So far, the district has shut down 58 illegal stores since last summer. And Pride celebrations continue on the final weekend of Pride Month. Sunday, it is Pride in the Plaza in Montgomery County. From noon until 5, there will be music, food, performances, and festivities happening at the Veterans Plaza in Silver Spring. And today in Virginia, it's the 8th annual Alexandria Pride. There's a drag story hour, music, and more than 60 organizations taking part. It's at City Hall and Market Square, happening from 3 to 6 p.m. But Brittany, if you're headed out for anything this weekend, you really got to be prepared and possibly dodge some clouds.
Yeah, you're going to be dodging a few showers and storms as we head through the weekend. The good news, Haley, doesn't look to be a complete washout. Just maybe have the poncho on hand. Now, if you plan on heading to the beaches this afternoon, not going to be looking bad, but you will be dodging a few of those showers and storms as well. Ocean City, Maryland, you guys are holding on to some dense fog at this hour with temperatures expected to be in the mid-80s. Storms expected, though, as you head over there to Kent Island. Highs expected to be in the upper 80s. Mid and upper 80s to talk about along Bethany, Rehoboth Beach. We'll start to see a few clouds there. Then Virginia Beach, you guys are the warm spot, coming in at 92 degrees for your high today. So keep it here. We'll talk more about what to expect here in D.C. coming up in just a bit.